So, to continue our service today, we're going to go ahead and do a sing-along. This is one of the real chestnuts of the labor song repertoire, and it's called Solidarity Forever, which is also the title of today's service. We're gonna. How many of you have heard of the Almanac Singers? Anyone? Okay. How many of you have heard of Pete Seeger? Hey. Okay. So he was one of the members of the Almanac Singers, but this was a group of folks who used folk music to kind of spread the message of labor unionism throughout the United States, particularly in the 40s and 50s. And this is a song called Solidarity Forever, which, if you're interested in musical terminology, is an example of a contrafactum, which means, do you remember that term, Sophia? Can you explain what it means? I know, I never like to put students on the spot. But a contrafactum means you borrow an existing melody and you put new words to it. Okay? So the melody of Solidarity Forever is the Battle Hymn of the Republic. If you know this melody, hum it with me right now. I'm even hearing some harmony right now. My gosh, y'all. Yes, okay, and instead, yeah, let's do the chorus. Ready? Actually, can we do the chorus, but instead of Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, we're going to do Solidarity Forever. And at the end, you'll say, for the union makes us strong. Okay? So, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. For the union makes us strong. Fantastic. So we're going to sing along with this recording. They're going to start with the chorus, and then they're going to move through the verses. They'll show the words, but you already know the melody. So let's do it.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. It is we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving mid the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. In our their hands is placed a power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of atoms, magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
All right. I feel fired up. Okay. So, our opening words for today are called Opening Words for Labor Day by Megan Visser. We enter this sanctuary for kindness and comfort. May rough, worn hands and aching backs be healed. We enter this sanctuary of hope for equality. May those who labor to survive live to know justice. We enter this sanctuary of love and vocation. May our bonds of solidarity be strengthened. We enter this sanctuary of courage and friendship. May we proceed hand in hand toward freedom. So, moving on to the reflection. You may know that the first Labor Day was celebrated in the United States on September 5th, 1882. So tomorrow, our country will celebrate our 143rd national holiday dedicated to working people in their right to organize for safe working conditions and fair compensation. In this reflection, I'd like to share with you a few highlights from U.S. labor history that have been adapted from this book called Carry It On, a history in song and picture of America's working men and women by folk singer Pete Seeger and author Bob Rancier. It's interesting to think about how the situation of workers in the late 19th century that led to the modern labor movement might still be relatable to working people today. So during the Civil War, America's industry built up tremendous momentum. When the war ended, soldiers on both sides dropped their arms to take up tools, to dig coal, build railways, cut timber, and do the thousands of other jobs that the expanding nation needed. But prosperity was not shared by all. There were some, like Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and Jay Gould, who amassed fortunes undreamed of before the war. The millions of people with laboring jobs remained, as the newspaper publisher Horace Greeley observed, shamefully poor. So again, see if you can put that in modern terms. Who are the folks who are amassing fortunes undreamed of in previous generations? So an idea that had been germinating for years finally flowered. Two labor unions emerged, drawing working people from every part of the nation into their ranks. The first was the Knights of Labor. The second was the American Federation of Labor. Originally a secret organization of working men, the Knights of Labor soon became a rallying place for men and women of every craft, creed, and color. The American Federation of Labor opened its doors primarily to skilled workers who had already organized into smaller craft unions. Its goals were purposely simpler, geared to immediate issues of wages and hours. The two unions had different objectives, but all agreed that the 12-hour workday, which was at that point the standard, imagine that, 12 hours every day, dangerous working conditions, starvation wages, lack of education, and the general degradation of life that had occurred in this new industrial age must end. One issue especially became a call to action across the country, uniting all working people, the 8-hour workday. And this was something that unions really had to fight for. And so no surprise, they had a song about it. And if you'll indulge me, I'll sing you a little bit of this song called Free America. And you might notice the Irish influence in the melody and pronunciation in this song. We're brave and gallant miner lads who work all underground. With courage and good nature, none finer can be found. We work both late and early and get but little pay to support our wives and children in free America. And when this strike is at an end and we have gained the day, we'll drink a health to our miner boys both near and far away. 8 hours we'd have for working, 8 hours we'd have for play. 8 hours we'd have for sleeping in free America. So, thank you. And the 8-hour workday, through a lot of struggle, eventually became the rule, but it took time and it took a lot of strife. So on May 1st, 1886, 500,000 workers across the country laid down their tools, vowing not to pick them up again until they had won the 8-hour workday. It was America's most widespread strike. Men and women and children, because remember, at this time, a lot of children were in the workforce. They took to the streets and the parks with picnic baskets and parasols. In Chicago, the mood was different. While 80,000 workers and their families strolled down Michigan Avenue, Pinkerton detectives and city police lined the rooftops, and National Guardsmen squatted behind machine guns. The stage was set for a riot. For 3 days, the city waited. Then on May 3rd, 1886, the police broke up a skirmish with clubs and guns, leaving 4 workers dead. Outraged, the trade unionists planned to hold a protest meeting on May 4th at Haymarket Square. At that meeting, police ordered the crowd to disperse. Suddenly, a dynamite bomb exploded on the ground between the crowd and the front ranks of the police. Dozens of people fell to the ground, injured or killed. Without a moment's hesitation, the police opened fire into the crowd. In the end, 7 policemen and 15 crowd members lay dead on the pavement. Local strike leaders were arrested and tried, not for murder, but for conspiracy. For the time being, the 8-hour-a-day movement was stopped. Now fast forward to March 25th, 1911. A fire broke out at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory in New York City. Most of the employees at this factory were women, and most of them immigrants. Because the doors to the stairwells and exits were locked, a commonplace practice at the time to prevent workers from taking unauthorized breaks and to reduce theft, many of the workers could not escape from the burning building, so they jumped from high windows. The fire caused the deaths of 146 garment workers, 123 women and girls, and 23 men, who died from either the fire, smoke inhalation, or falling or jumping to their deaths. This tragedy led to the legislation requiring improved factory safety standards and helped spur the growth of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, which fought for better working conditions for garment workers. So the following year, 1912, the industrial workers of the world emerged to bring together all workers in all industries. The IWW, also known as the Wobblies, believed that a singing movement is a winning movement. And in fact, they had their own songbook called the IWW Songbook, also sometimes called the Little Red Songbook, because it was red. And yeah, for that reason, they issued songbooks to all their members in an effort to help build one big union for all. And you might be familiar with one of their favorite songs called The Preacher and the Slave. Have you ever heard of this? Long-haired preachers come out every night, try to tell you what's wrong and what's right. But when asked how about something to eat, they will answer in voices so sweet. You will eat by and by in that glorious land above the sky. Work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. That's a lie. Right? So, people were working for this, they were protesting for this, but they were also singing for this. A federal Department of Labor was established on March 4th, 1913, the direct product of a half-century campaign by organized labor for a voice in the cabinet, and an indirect product of the progressive movement. The Department of Labor's purpose is to foster, promote, and develop the welfare of working people, to improve their working conditions, and to enhance their opportunities for profitable employment. With the Great Depression's severe unemployment, the labor movement revived the idea of reducing work hours and pushed for the passage of the Fair Labor Standards Act, which established an 8-hour workday and a 40-hour work week. In the following decades, the labor movement worked to extend coverage of the law to all workers and prevent employers from forcing employees to engage in unpaid work. In 1935, the United Mine Workers joined with a dozen other industrial unions to form the Congress for Industrial Organization, or CIO. They would represent the tens of millions of industrial workers, women workers, and workers of color still outside the labor movement. That same year, labor unions in the United States were formally recognized under U.S. labor law with the enactment of the 1935 National Labor Relations Act. So today, I know we're fast forwarding a lot, 90 years after the establishment of the National Labor Relations Act, the development of organized labor in the United States has had many ups and downs since that establishment of the National Labor Relations Act. Often it seems like there have been more downs than ups. In the mid-1950s, about 30% of American workers belonged to a labor union. Does anyone want to guess what the percentage is now? Higher or lower, do you think? Higher. Definitely lower. Last year, 2024, that number was only 9.9%. And that's a decrease from just a few years ago. So according to the most recent report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and this is a few years old, but the rate of union membership among public sector workers, and actually this is still accurate, rate of union membership among public sector workers is over 6 times the rate of private sector workers. No surprise there. Black workers are more likely to be union members than white, Asian, or Hispanic workers. Men have a higher union membership rate than women. It surprises me. I consider myself fortunate to be a member of a union, the BGSU Faculty Association, where I actually served as an executive committee member for 6 years. In 2013, which is only 2 years after our union was established, we formed a collective bargaining agreement, a contract, that guarantees specific procedures for evaluation and promotion, as well as regular raises for all full-time faculty. And I have to say, as a non-tenure track faculty member, I have benefited, I think, immensely from this collective bargaining agreement. Previously, someone like me would have had very little job protections, very little hope for a raise or job mobility, upward mobility, and now I have that. So I'm really proud to be part of this union. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have ever been part of a union, either now or in the past? Okay, cool. So a lot of you have known personally the benefits and the struggles of being part of a union, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? Yeah. So while I'm very proud to be part of my union, in many ways, this experience with unions is actually really similar to my experience with Unitarian Universalism. Both bring together people from many walks of life who have an interest in making the world a better place. Both encourage active participation among their members, and both have to contend with the fact that their members will often disagree about the best course of action. Both are sometimes seen as lost causes that are constantly struggling to grow their numbers, and both often depend on many hours of work contributed by unpaid volunteers. Thank you, unpaid volunteers. But both are rooted in a belief in the worth and dignity of every person. I also see both unions and UU congregations as social justice organizations, actively putting their beliefs into practice and working to change the systems and policies that affect people's lives. Unionism and labor union activism also very closely tie into several of our shared values. Equity, for example, the belief that not only should people be treated equally, but they should be treated fairly. You know, if somebody needs a little more help, a little more attention, they should be able to access that. And of course, this also ties into justice, our shared value of justice, our willingness and our belief that when things are not equitable for people, we have a role to play, and we also kind of have an obligation to fight for those causes. I also want to tie it into interdependence. Right before service, Tina and Sophia and I were talking about how many movements have used labor songs. So the song that we're going to do after the reflection, We Shall Not Be Moved. It started in the labor movement, then it was used in the civil rights movement, then it was used by, pretty much every movement since. And that makes sense, right? Because all of these movements are interconnected. Justice for one group cannot be possible unless we all have justice, right? My freedom is tied up with your freedom. And that is one way to think about our shared value of interdependence. So I think the point here is that being part of any organization that works for positive change in the world is going to be a struggle. But it's a struggle worth taking on, and it only works when we all work together. Thanks. So before our next sing-along, we will do an offering to sustain and strengthen this church, which is important to so many of us. We gratefully dedicate this offering to the good of the congregation, the wider community, and the world. If you make automatic pledge payments, please place one of the yellow cards indicating this support in the basket. You can find these in the seat back pockets. And if you want today's contribution to count toward your annual pledge, please put it in an envelope with your name on the front so we know who to credit it to. Thank you.
Together we don't stand. There is power in our union. Now the lessons of the past were all learned with workers' blood. Mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. From the cities and the farmlands to trenches full of mud. War has always been the bosses' way, sir. The union forever defending our rights. Down with the black leg, workers unite. With our brothers brothers and our sisters, many far-off lands. There is power in our union. Now I long for the morning that they realise brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us. But who'll defend the workers who cannot organise when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? Money speaks for money, the devil for his own. Who comes to speak for the skin and the bone? What a comfort to the widow, a light to the child. There is power in our union.
So now it's time for another sing-along. This is very well known. Does anybody know this song, We Shall Not Be Moved? Yay, okay. So the tune is this, and so thank you to Sophia for assisting me. The tune goes like this, and if you know the tune, feel free to sing along, but this is just a warm-up, okay? So, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Okay, so we're going to use that same melody every single time, and the only thing that changes is the first line. Okay, so the next verse will be, we are fighting for our children, we shall not be moved. We are fighting for our children, we shall not be moved. Okay, should we do another warm-up, or do you want to just launch right in? Launch right in, okay, I love it, love it. Okay, ready? Here's your tempo. 1, 2, ready, go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our children. We are fighting for our children. We shall not be moved. We are fighting for our children. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be. We are black and white together. We are black and white together. We shall not be moved. We are black and white together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be. We are men and women and men together. We are women and men together. We shall not be moved. We are women and men together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We will build a mighty union. We shall not be moved. We will build a mighty union. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Yeah. So, as you can tell, you might be able to tell this just from the song. This is a song that people would use in a protest situation, particularly if it was some sort of sit-in or strike or somewhere where you're taking up space and you will not be moved. And what better way to strengthen your resolve and to feel connected, feel unified with your fellow protesters than to sing. So keep that one in your back pocket, if you ever need it. Okay, so our closing words today are from Rich Yesselson called An Elevator Pitch for Unions. So if you haven't been convinced yet, maybe this will do it. Whether you realize it or not, unions help you in countless ways. Union workers still hold a substantial wage and benefit premium over non-union workers. Basically, you're more likely to be paid better, have more vacation time, a better benefit package than if you're not in a union. Your workplace is likely to be a lot safer. So compare unionized versus non-unionized manufacturing facilities or coal mines. If union standards for pay, benefits, safety, and health didn't exist, there would be no pressure on non-union employers to at least try to approach them. Moreover, as the National Labor Relations Act states in its preamble, unions augment workers' purchasing power and thus boost the entire economy. If you have concerns about the danger of large, concentrated private power and money, from the Koch brothers to the oil companies to the insurance companies, unions, even now in their weakened condition, are likely to be the loudest, most powerful ally you can have. Unions, as the old saying goes, are the folks who brought you the weekend and Labor Day, and fight for your Social Security and your Medicare and Medicaid. And despite a long history of racism, like the rest of America, the Civil Rights Act. And now increasingly, LGBT rights. Meaning a bunch of issues that have nothing directly to do with unionized workers. The minimum wage doesn't either, but unions fight for that too. And safe workplaces, and on and on. At their best, unions try to make America a better place, not just for their members, but for millions of others. Unions aren't perfect. They are not a countervailing power when what their own workers do is itself antisocial. So, for example, see the police unions in the weeks after Ferguson in 2016. But if you read the news, you understand that governments, corporations, and nonprofits, like universities, aren't perfect either. In the past several decades of democratic revolutions all over the world, from South Korea to Eastern Europe to South Africa and elsewhere, unions and workers are in the forefront of those struggles. And when those movements are crushed, it is the organizations of workers that are among the first to be destroyed. In a democratic society, unions are a critical part of the political culture. At their best, transcending the differences of race, gender, sexual orientation, and much more that divide people from one another, providing a democratic space in civil society between the family and the state. That's what social solidarity is about. Sometimes unions have to fight against the wealthy and powerful, but in doing so, they bring people together. So now please join me in reading the words provided as we extinguish our chalice. These are shorter, just one page. As we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Thanks, David. So before our closing song, we have time for a few brief announcements. Come on up to the podium if you have one to make.
Certainly learning a lot about what goes on with labor today. I am here to announce that we are going to have a meditation group that will be for 4 weeks in September, and it's beginning, and everyone is welcome. And there'll be donation basket just to support the church if you feel like doing that, but if you already support the church, just come. And it will be on Wednesdays from 6 to 7, right here, probably in this room. Thank you. You want to talk any more about it or ask me questions or whatever, I'm glad to speak with you.
A couple of quick announcements. One, don't forget, bring donations for Brown Bag. I'll take them every Sunday and drop them off to Brown Bag. Two, Angeles and I are hosting another ecstatic dance event next Sunday. It'll be from 5 to 6:45. So if you're like hanging out down at the Black Swamp and it ends, you can come on up here and move a little and enjoy it. You don't have to be a dancer to participate. Like, get that straight. It's just music and movement and kind of getting in touch with life. And thirdly, I cut out these on here. The Franciscan Life Center is hosting a dance troupe that has been able to secure visas from Gaza, and it's from the rubble we dance. It is this Wednesday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Franciscan Center Theater. There's varying degrees of cost for tickets. Those are supportive of that. If you need more information, I have like the contact I can give you off my phone, but this was forwarded to me. I'm planning on attending. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing event, and all the money is going to help support the Gazan cause. So thank you.
Hello. This is more of a personal ask. So I'm trying to find a new home for my sweet little kitty. Her name was Tattle. I've renamed her to Princess because she is a pretty princess. I cannot afford her veterinary care, so I am trying to find a new home for her. She is a very sweet kitty. I can give you more information about her if you are interested. Just talk to me after service during coffee hour. Thank you.
Most of you know I work every other weekend, and I try to be a greeter when I can. We do need other greeters, and there's a new list for September, October out there. It's generally a 30, 40-minute job. You welcome new people, offer them the blue card, show them where the coffee is. So I hope some of you will sign up. There's a new list out there.
It's Labor Day weekend, so we're talking about labor unions. But I just want to remind people that there are other kinds of unions that are out there, especially tenants unions, that are quite instrumental in helping people to maintain their rights against unruly landlords. So keep in mind that there are lots of different kinds of unions in addition to labor unions, but labor unions is what we're talking about today because this is Labor Day weekend.
Well said. Thank you, David.
Also, just to clarify, because somebody just asked about this, Princess is in good health. It's just that I have a comic artist salary. I can't afford a cat. So, any other further questions, just reach out.
Just here for a minute. Let's see, three things. Ford Caulfield burial service went very, very well. Beautiful day. I spoke to Phyllis yesterday. She's doing just fine and is kind of remapping her life now and has lots of plans. So good for her. Number two, September 14th, big day here. Jim Scott the guitarist, performer who's known throughout the UUA, will be performing here. You guys know Jim Scott? Yeah. You'll have to come back. Well, you've never left, have you? You're familiar with Jim Scott. Talented guy, has been playing in Unitarian churches mostly for 30 years and wants to come here and do a service for us. So that's September 14th. So come on back. Lastly, oh, look, there's Jan and Ron Parton over here. Stand up, Jan and Ron. So one more time. This is their third Sunday in a row that they've been here. I'm running out of nice things to say about them, but some of you may have seen this in storage. It's marked Maumee Valley UU Congregation, April 5th, 1987. And only a handful of us even know what this is. It's a time capsule. Time capsule that was put together by our RE kids way back in April of 1987. I have no idea what's in here, but very soon we're going to have a service where we'll open this and take a look at it. And one of the people who prepared this is Matt Parton, who is a professor at BGSU. Back in April 5th, 1987, he was one of our RE kids. So, oh, yes, yeah, oh, yes. Well, Matt's here in town, Brett's in Cincinnati. So this ought to be really interesting. What would these adults, and Matt's now a father of at least one, and Brett, these are not middle-aged men, but certainly older, and it'll be fun to see what was important to them back on April 5th of 1987. We will have an official opening sometime soon, so watch for that. Thank you.
Way to keep us in suspense, Steve. Awesome. All right, thank you for the announcements. Are there any online announcements? Okay. So after the closing song, please feel free to stay for coffee hour. Our closing song today is Just Go With the Song in Your Heart, and Sophia is going to lead us. Oh, I'll start the singing. Go with the song in your heart. Go with music in your soul. Leave with the memory of a melody. Go with the song in your heart. Go with the song in your heart. Now until we meet again, the joy of music is our gift to you. Go with the song in your heart. Leave with the memory of a melody. Go with the song. Go with the song. Go with the song in your heart. Have a
Plant more than you harvest, sun and water, earth and seas. Plant more than you harvest, give the earth all that it needs. Plant more than you harvest, give the earth all that it needs. The earth all that it needs. Clear the meadows and the highways, but plant stout trees between. Let the forests hold hold the hillsides, cover the earth with green. Let the forests hold the hillsides, cover the earth